Thank you for watching, thank you for sticking around. I want to bring down right away some people that worked on this movie. So first, Joe Bender, director of photography and producer. Isabel Ponte, editor. Jenny Lim, producer.
So, Maxime, let me ask first couple questions. I'm curious, as you were making this, as you were in this world, did you find yourself becoming more interested in embracing robotic technology, or do you find yourself resisting in some ways?
I think whether we found ourselves resisting or embracing, I thought we realized from the beginning that you can't just resist it. And I thought that one of the problematic things that a lot of the movies about technology was doing is that they were creating this benchmark of, let's make a robot director or a robot cinematographer and see if a computer can do it. And that's sort of creating an artificially high bar, which almost makes you myopic about all the other ways in which it's changing you. So for us, for example, this was using an automated VO both as as part of a formal design of a movie, but also as something that was automated, was cheaper to use. It was much more flexible, it was easier to work with, and that's going to be a reality, especially if you I'm sure television shows within 5 years that use VO will use this technology, especially as the budgets get smaller, and that's a form of automation. And so I think we just wanted to grapple with it. It felt like it would feel false to, for example, have the VO, which was a very emotive, human, James Earl Jones type, in this.
And what was your first way into this subject?
I think that from the beginning it was actually a German story, because we went there, Jenny, Joe, and I, and we were filming about this, and we were interested in the story, but then immediately talking to the workers, we realized that for them it was much more of a way of thinking through a lot of things that they've been seeing happening with their job, and a certain kind of anxiety. And so we decided to build this film on this axis between sort of automation as a cause of literal death, and also as a certain kind of metaphorical death of making us less human in our capacities as we're engaging more and more with the technology.
So, as you're trying to approach some of these corporations, you've got a lot of people to talk, but clearly some people aren't going to talk. Where were you hitting the walls of people who did want to talk?
Well, some people may have noticed that the only workers in the film that are identified are Volkswagen workers, because they requested that specifically. So I think that in a lot of these corporate environments, like all the Volkswagen workers that we talked to were basically told specifically never to speak to anyone about what happened. So what's interesting is that in a lot of these cases, it's not that they even have so much reason to cover up what happened. But what's fascinating is that there seems to be like an intuitive discomfort with even saying the word robot as a cause of death that's generated by years of science fiction, all these other things that we have in our imagination. And for us, it was fascinating to sort of track it, and you even see it when the police chief announces that they're going to use the bomb robot, and he sort of stumbles right on that word, because there's something almost in our humanity that's fighting that. And for us, it was trying to find those moments to see if we can get that dialogue going between sort of the literal death and the metaphorical death. And so, yeah.
Also, one of the things that we found out talking to a lot of the researchers and the scientists about AI is that, and I think that this is true about robots, and it does also speak to the secrecy question, is that the goalposts keep moving over time. So the more these technologies mature and the more that they become widely used, they sort of stop being called robots and they're just machines, or it stops being called AI, it's just software. And so one of the things that we encountered was that process is very different depending on when you look at it. So the public is often becoming aware for the first time of these technologies when a sensational event takes place. And so it makes this big splash, and it's AI or it's a robot, and so we confront the technology in that way. Whereas the companies and the people who work with these things all the time have a much more sort of naturalized understanding of the technologies involved, and so they perceive it in a different way. And so that I think is a really important part of this dynamic, because a lot of it has to do with the way that we encounter newness and we encounter the challenges and transformations that brings with it.
Let's take some questions from the audience. I see a hand going up there, the white.
I wanted to ask a question about how you went about picking your subjects.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like a very interesting perspective because you cover a lot of like the job-killing robots, but like you don't talk to people about existential risk or asking people about like longer-term killer robot kind of things. So just what went through the selection process there?
The question was about how you selected the people you talked to.
One thing that I mentioned at the beginning, I think that for me, the greater existential risk, or more interesting one that people don't engage with, for example, is sort of like what the Scottish philosopher says at the end. So there's certain things about our engagement with robots and with technology, and the way that it undercuts and cuts into our engagement with humans, I think is an existential risk that's worth exploring, that's separate from the general intelligence risk that you're referring to. And I think that for us, it was what that thing that I mentioned at the beginning is seeing this topic discussed, and it's discussed almost exclusively from the point of view of what robots can do and what they will do in the future. And so I think our whole idea with the film and actually getting working people and people who are interacting with the robots and are living alongside them and never really kind of part of this automation, technological, economic debate. So the idea was, okay, how can we make a labor panorama that shows the process of automation, both historically and the way it's happening right now, and work that into the film. And I think that we came to a point of which way to go in the existential question, whether to go towards sort of the high AI, or to go to something more about just alienation where we are in regards to one another, and that seemed to be the topic that I hadn't seen tackled in connection to the technology, so that's why we went that way.
Who's got a question from that? See, you just called up. Yeah, near the top.
There's a white flag. Hello.
I thought the film looked great, and I was curious since it was kind of a hodgepodge of all kinds of footage. Did you have any design ideas that you kind of imposed on the film to make it look as good as it did?
So can you talk about the look of the film, and if you start out getting design ideas?
I think it was more of, I think Joe should comment on the look of the film, but I think that in terms of our feeling about what the film should be, from the very beginning we had this kind of distinction between we didn't want to make a film about science, we wanted to do something different, this idea that I think Tom mentioned, this idea of science nonfiction, which is great because when you think about what science fiction writers do, they basically look at the world and they extract pieces of the future from the things that they see around them. And I think that when we wanted the film to be very visual, we didn't want it to be driven entirely by sort of the voice of engineers or the voice of scientists kind of explaining things to you. We wanted you to be in these places, to engage with it, and that's why it was so very important for kind of it to have a visual rhythm and for the scenes to be driven not so much by interview, but by a certain kind of give and take between interview and the experience of being in those places.
Yeah, absolutely. And then from the photography standpoint, it was really important to mix a very humanistic viewpoint, so to have a lot of empathy for the subjects and to really foreground their humanity, and then also to juxtapose that with a little bit more of an impersonal view, so that we could sort of express this encounter between human subjects, human workers, and these kind of technological forces that are an ever greater presence in our working lives and in our lives in general. And so, I mean, that was the goal of one aspect of that style, was to sort of show the encounter between those different perspectives, to have that express this sort of contradiction, this encounter.
I want to ask from the editor's point of view, what the challenges were pulling all this stuff together.
Well, when you work with an automated narrator, it's kind of great and kind of bizarre, because on one hand, the automated narrator can say whatever you want and you can change it all the time without having to bring someone in to do a recording. On the other hand, the automated narrator doesn't always know how to talk like a human being, so that was like one challenge, was trying to get her to be able to pronounce words in non-silly ways. Other editorial challenges, I mean, it's a broad film, you see a lot of people. I was really interested in in sort of the ways that we always assume that the future and futuristic technologies will sort of be inherently progressive or be like better than we are somehow. And I think in this one you just see that that's like not true. That in basically every case, all of our racism, sexism, like all these retrograde ideas can totally come through in like a new technological world. So to me, when I was like, I think that was one of the interesting parts of the film.
Right, question right here in the middle.
I say it's a great documentary. Thanks for making it. And I want to make a joke. I thought it was a Terminator sequel. I think it made a long.
He said he thought it was a Terminator sequel.
Yeah, the wrong movie. But actually, no, great job with the documentary. The editing was great. I thought it was really thoughtful and how you recreate the stories, even without like the footage, like news footage, but you were able to recreate by shooting a certain way and editing. Really, it strikes me as I was really there doing those stories. I actually have a question. When I saw the documentary, I saw there's seeing the visual style. You seem to photograph human in a way that is kind of robotic. Was that intentional?
So he felt that the way you were photographing humans sometimes felt robotic, and that was intentional.
Yeah, very much. I mean, I think that we were trying to move constantly back and forth between these viewpoints, and so that's part of dramatizing the encounter between humans and robots. And to, yeah, so I mean, thanks very much.
And I think that for us there was this interest, you know, we knew that we would have to define robot in the movie, and one of the definitions, and I think the one that we ended up using, was fascinating for us because it really defined how we thought about the film formally, both in terms of the graphics, cinematography, a lot of the shot compositions when you would see, like in Japan, robots and humans side by side. And that line was that robot is a machine that performs with that performs a task automatically with human-like skill. And the idea that humanity and human-like skill is already inscribed into the definition of what a robot is, and is effectively what will, for better or for worse, differentiate a robot from other kinds of machines or other kinds of technologies was so fascinating because from the very beginning, when the term is introduced, the encroachment into human capacity is already inscribed into the definition. And so for us, we wanted to visually and, you know, filmically prod that as much as possible.
Okay, I'll take, oh, here we go, right here.
Hi, first again, thank you. Just want to echo all the comments. That the music was fantastic. The voiceover was great. Really made a compelling thing to watch. Two questions. You had after the police use of the bomb robot, you had a quick little segment of a facial recognition and a gun going after terrorism. I'm wondering if you could just elaborate a little bit more what that is, and then secondly, if you could address, based on your research, kind of when do you think this will be, the displacement side of this will be, like truck drivers or something like that, when will that be?
So two-part question there. It's a little reference after the bomb robot in Dallas of the way in which warfare can be automated with facial recognition technology. And then the second part of the question is, you know, when do you see this displacement accelerating of some of the roles you're talking about?
In terms of that video, what we had was, that is a DARPA video, so that's the Defense Agency Research Project. Stephanie, we have our producer Stephanie did in the audience too, but DARPA, what's the full acronym stand for?
Advanced Research Projects.
Advanced Research Projects. So that footage was from there, and the second question was...
With this displacement that the
I think that, you know, our whole motto for this film was think about more than just the numbers. And the idea is that a lot of everything else that's done just tries to peg it to a number. And you know, with things like truck driving, what seems to be much more important is precisely that any of the skill and any of the dignity that was in that job has been gradually sapped out of that job along with the wages. And that the idea is that a lot of these people are, the service sector is adaptable and will sort of expand and will take people in. But the problem is that those jobs will, in addition to not paying very well and eventually disappearing, will also not have, you know, won't have very much dignity in them because there's so little skill, so little knowledge that's even required for them. And that's what you hear when you talk to a lot of people that work in automated factories, It's that it used to be, for better, they don't necessarily regret the robots, but it was very different. It was a much more human environment because the people that they interact with, if you look at, for example, the Chinese post office, you know, then they just stand around there surrounded by this clamor of, you know, of machines, and that's a very different existential experience of that. So, and I think so our whole thing was just think about more than the numbers, think about the actual transformative experience. And because economics is very complicated in terms of how it adjusts and inflates and works alongside it, and that's why kind of those kinds of projections a lot of times just, you know, lead us astray.
Add one thing about the facial recognition and the weapons. That's actually like one of the things, and this actually speaks to the truck driving thing too. That there's a whole new generation of automated weapons that can have a human in the loop, but also have an automated mode. And so those turrets that we use some of the footage of are models that can be human operated, essentially remote controlled, but also have an autonomous mode. And we don't use that for questions of responsibility, right? So there still we rely on having a human who's ultimately going to be responsible for the decision to kill someone, because that responsibility from our social standpoint needs to stay with a human being. But that's something that's sort of part of an ongoing progression where it becomes much easier to remove that check at a later date. And the same thing with the ongoing automation of trucking, for example. One of the things with the drivers that you find is that they become, they're increasingly in the cab as a scapegoat. They're supposed to be monitoring the operation of the machine, of the autopilot, and be responsible to take over when it if anything goes wrong. But then as it becomes more automated, their skills decrease. It becomes harder for them to do that, and then they become also just kind of an ultimate repository for responsibility. So that's part of
That's
this.
a legal responsibility on them too.
So my last question, in the utopian idea of automation, robots would take over so much of our work that a country, for instance, could produce enough wealth that the human beings could have more leisure. And I wonder if you are encountering any thinkers who look towards that positive idea.
For us, that was one of the questions, that was the big question for whether to include it in the film, was this idea that's common amongst economists of a general income or basic income, or sometimes it's referred to as a positive tax credit. And it's a very complicated idea, and the thing is that I think that because of the answer to the previous question, I'm trying to think about more qualitative transformation as a result of automation. We didn't want to go down that road because I'm personally I feel like that if the trend of automation continues in the same way that it has been, even if a sort of basic income is introduced, what will happen is there will be a massive part of the population that are just like addicted to painkillers and with an Oculus Ring, an Oculus, what do they call it, Rift, and then they have, probably like $15,000 where they can maintain that lifestyle, and that seems as dystopian as anything else. So, so I could see, in other words, I could see that the general income going in both positive and negative direction, and it's too big a thing to introduce in the context of all the other things that we're doing. So.
Well, I can say that in the 2 months since I saw the first cut of this, it has stayed with me, and I imagine that you're going to be thinking about this for a long time. Hope you get to see more films this week. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you,
guys.